It's the WCW Tag Team Champions Scott Hall and Kevin Nash versus the Faces of Fear, Haku, Peter, and the Barbarian with Jimmy
They've got
Hart.
new clothes on. The thing that gets me about this, like Meng and the Barbarian, they're dressed like lovely fellas who might have been kind of like a traditional kind of Renaissance fair or something.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the situation where I owe a ruff to a costumer. I went on a murder mystery night and I wore a funny sort of Tudor costume.
Right.
And I lost the ruff.
How did you lose the fucking ruff? It's round your neck.
It wasn't a particularly good ruff. It was like it was a rough ruff. It was terrible. But the costumer keeps ringing me up going, Peter, have you found the ruff yet? And I'm just keep saying no. But I've ordered one on Etsy and that will hopefully be arriving soon. I said, look, just fucking charge me. She went, yeah, but I'm going to have to find a ruff from somewhere. I said, well, just wait for the ruff I've got then. Just wait for it. How many ruffs can you need more than one ruff.
I think you'll find this is a 120 real ruff. The one that you've lost was, I think, an 185. The number of squiggle coils. This is awkward. You're right. They've got that slight look of they are from a fantasy film, Meng and the Barbarian in this, that they do have that sort of velvety, smooth blacksmith pants. And the two of them, of course, they do look like Genghis Khan's warriors. They are. They don't get enough love for this period, the Faces of Fear, but they are just two meaty, violent, thuggy men who are also in real life totally legit. But in this, bring to it a sort of sense of just that they are pros. There's something odd about Meng and the Barbarian. They just seem like they're trying to win, like they're serious, and like they've got a chance. They've spent years in the WWF just basically coasting in those terrible low mid-card matches against people like Tatanka and Hacksaw Duggan. And here, it's almost like they're, oh good, we're off the leash. Now it's time to show you that we are just an amazing unit. There's a chop that Meng does at some point, which is just a sort of life-changing thud that you have sort of like cave in your chest. And Barbarian looking cross all the time. I really, really love this match. They are a big part of it, obviously. But the other thing is Hall and Nash, who are simply having the time of their lives. How exciting to see two people who are at the very, very apex of their career and are both massively aware of it and are just like every moment of it is like nectar from the gods to them. It's so brilliant to see them come together, and they've got a reputation, Hall and Nash, for being lazy. You know, that's the one thing. They coasted a lot of their career. Here, they are just working so hard and so well. I presume that's because if you don't, then Meng and the Barbarian will literally chew you up. But, I mean, Pete, who'd have thought? What a match.
Yeah,
what a match.
Big meaty men. Big meaty men slapping meat. That's what he's doing. That's what they're doing.
Meat.
It's rare that you see a big man match that you actually want to watch.
Yeah, completely.
Big lads.
When Barbarian is the smallest man in a match, you know, you're going to be a bit like, oh dear, this is not going to be.
No.
This is going to be a solid 4 out of 10 if all goes well. And they just wail on each other. It is non-stop action. It's absolutely thrilling. My little favourite bit at the start, there's loads of people holding up signs because the NWO has really, really taken off. So you get a lot of, there's an NWO for life poster and someone's, hi Susan, which a wrestling fan called Susan. I think that's the only one I've seen before. Someone else has one that says Die Jarrett under their sign. And then you see the third one, which just says the NWO are just rejects from the WWF. Shouldn't have put that one on, lads.
Shouldn't have put that one on. Yeah, cut that.
That is a cameraman who doesn't know about the storylines in wrestling, and that is a director who has just gone, another NWO one, yeah, move it to camera 5, great, thanks Mike. It stays there for ages. They're just rejects from the WWF. Terrible. This, I can't tell you, Pete, compared to like the 97 Royal Rumble, which will take place a month after this, how modern this match feels. It's just it's just so much goodness in it, such big characters, such good action. There's a great bit where someone just keeps repeating that fresh Meng is in. There's a fresh Meng.
All right, Meng is in. A fresh Meng. Any Meng. Fresh, yeah. Fresh or not, that's right. Up. No, can't get him there. Well, the leverage ain't set back on him good enough yet.
And all I can think about is I want a T-shirt that says the fresh Meng of Bel Air, right? with Haku in the middle of it. I did work out 2 other sitcom Meng T-shirts if you're interested.
Can I guess one of them? Does one of them involve Meng behaving badly?
No, that's really good though. But that one works on every level.
Yeah, Meng just behaved badly all the time in fights and stuff.
I went for the big Meng theory and Menkum in the middle. Absolutely pathetic. From Mengs as well is another one, but
what?
From Mengs.
Friends. Sorry,
with Meng with the Jennifer Aniston haircut.
The eye pop.
The one where Meng chews an eye. Constant fighting throughout this, and it ends with a powerbomb by Kevin Nash on the Barbarian, which is as good a powerbomb as Nash ever did in his life. For a man who spent a decade giving power bombs, Kevin Nash never really did a particularly good one. And this one's good. It just looks like Barbarian has fallen off the roof of a shed, while he's been getting footballs down. He's just gone back off it. Gone thump. Really, really good fun. There's a little bit where Jimmy Hart interferes and Six, the former X-Pac, runs down. The former 1-2-3 kid at that point. He runs down and he chases Jimmy Hart off. And it is a funny thing in WCW where they have someone like Six and they go, he's quite small, so let's make him effectively a greaser hornswoggle so he can chase Jimmy Hart away. Yeah. And that seemed to diminish X-Pac a bit. But
he can do
my
cool,
God.
But that back kick, that is so
it's doing the jumpy spin and then trying to get your foot into like a ballerina, like Ricky style.
It's very good, but it's very well done. But I just think it's not necessarily
a legitimate
a
fight. No, exactly. And it's not a legitimate fighting technique, Pete. You try that in Aldershot. Just fucking try it, Pete. you try. See if you can even get round before someone's managed to get you onto the floor and on the back of your neck. Terrible. A little NWO interview we cut to then. Ted DiBiase, he starts the interview, and DiBiase is really, really good. He's very underrated on the microphone, DiBiase, because he makes sense, and that really is sort of unusual for wrestlers in that he's worked out in advance what he's going to say. He's aware of the storylines and what his role is. He's standing there with Vincent, who is the former Virgil. Virgil, the character in the WWF, had been named after Dusty Rhodes, who was then booking for WCW and the NWA. And it was a rib because Dusty Rhodes' real name, Virgil Runnels, and they'd given it to this pointless manservant. And so when Virgil comes to WCW, they rename him, in a very on-the-nose moment, Vincent, after Vincent K. McMahon. And I did look at him there, and I did think, Virgil really stole a living, didn't he? I mean, he just bounces from company to company, and he's just a silent non-wrestler. He's not even like a mouthpiece. He's just like, I don't do the wrestling.
He doesn't really talk, yeah.
I don't do the talking.
He doesn't even do the talking, yeah.
No.
He just gets belittled.
I stand at the back, right? I stand at the back, and then when the little bit is done, when they've all finished that bit, which takes about 3 minutes, then I go to catering and I have my dinner, and then I go back to the hotel, I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, I'll eat breakfast, I'll just hang around. When they're going, should we do meetings about the show? You just sort of go, well, there's no need for me to be there, so no. Yeah.
Or maybe he's highly intelligent. I wouldn't know. He never fucking speaks.
No, you don't. I mean, actually, as the years have proved, I think it's probably best that was the case, because he does seem to be a slightly strange man. Has claimed in recent years to have slept with over 1 million women.
Yes, right, yeah.
Yeah, someone had worked out it would mean he slept with like a woman every 38 minutes from the moment of his birth. Which again, when they worked that out, it didn't faze him at all. He was like, no, I have.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Can you not speak anymore, please? And here comes Hogan, and Hogan in this again. He's much, much better than you'd imagine he would be. He does a very, very complex part of this promo where he is sort of saying, back at home in California, I've told everyone that because of the time difference, this match has already happened, and I've already beaten Roddy Piper. And as he starts it, you go, I see where he's going here, but this is not going. He's going to lose his thread. Nope. absolutely pulls it off. You go, oh, well done, well done, Hulk Hogan. Might have a future in this business, you.
Doesn't he love that kind of thing? Where didn't he sort of say that he fundamentally wrestled more times than was actually humanly possible because he flew back and forth to Japan so much?
That's right. He said he'd been to Japan so many times and he'd come back and wrestled in the US when he got off the plane that actually he'd had extra days in the year, effectively, where he had been able to wrestle 700 times in a year solely because he was continually coming back and forward to Japan.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日立の
Wednesday,
細長は
Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
Saturday,
サラサ
Sunday
ラ
comes again.
綺麗な空気体には細長が気持ちいいんです日立のビッグフロー
Yeah.
He does one line in here where he talks about Piper's 6 kids and he just says, all 6 of his kids are crying in their cold Campbell's soup. And I was just like, that is a nice little bit of poetic
image,
in their cold Campbell's soup. Really good. Well done, Hulk. This is good. He then calls Piper a woman and he mispronounces the surname Schwarzenegger. So it's sort of like a little throw forward to his later racist chat. Elizabeth is in the background throughout all of this as well. She's joined the NWO as a sort of former key member of the glory years of the WWF.
It's at this point you realise that she doesn't do much either.
No, she looks so sort of sad. She looks like Princess Diana through this, and she's just at the back, sort of looking. And you can't work out whether this is part of her angle, like she's a little bit dominated by these, or whether she just hates wrestling and hates the shouting and stuff. She just looks genuinely unnerved and unhappy. It's always sad to see her looking unhappy, but she never looks anything but.
But I saw one of his snotty-nosed kids running around trying to bum a quarter to buy a Coke. And I know that Roddy Piper, no matter how much of a liar, no matter how much of a cheater, and no matter how much of a woman he really is underneath that skirt, it's the nature of the beast. You don't leave your kids behind. So all I gotta...
But I would say that when a couple of years ago, before I bought my house and had to empty out my stocks and shares ISA, I had like a load of like Nvidia and stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and the only time I didn't enjoy the stocks and shares ISA is when I invested in a helium mine.
Okay.
Some kind of helium company.
Stocks can definitely go up.
And that just, and you just sort of think, well, look, that sounds like something we all need. And if they can find this helium, we'll all be in filthy lucre. But they didn't find any. It all went to shit. And more the fool me, to be quite frank.
That sounds to me very...